Hello, Bento Sushi. Can I take your order, please?
Yeah, hi. So over the last few weeks I've been dieting because I'm trying to get this triple bodyweight deadlift, but I've recently found out that I don't think I'm strong enough to do that. So basically I'm looking to bulk now and just try and lift as much as possible. So I was looking at the special bento and that looks pretty good. Looks like there's a lot of calories in that, pretty good for a bulk. I also looked at the seafood udon soup, that looks pretty good, lots of protein, good for bulking as well. So I was wondering if I could get those, please. Hello? Special bento and seafood acquired. I don't know why they'll get weird with me on the phone. I think it was quite a reasonable request. So in my last video I talked about how I'm probably not going to deadlift triple bodyweight. And mainly the reason for that, well, the main reason for that is because I'm just not strong enough, but the other reason is because I'm just not committed to dieting, and I mentioned it's a little bit because of a psychological thing that I just don't want to be losing strength. So yeah, back on the bulk, and what I'm intending to do is try and eat quite a lot in order to be as strong as I possibly can when it comes to the 21st of December, so I can lift the most amount of weight. So I'm starting that off by having one of my favourite foods, sushi and seafood and miso soup. Look at that great big muscle, as they say in the West Country. Muscles build muscles. To be fair, I say this is bulking food. It's actually incredibly healthy. It's basically rice and raw fish and just fish with broth. I mean, you can't get much healthier than that, so actually in terms of bulking this probably wasn't the best choice, but it's bloody delicious, I know that much. And salad, I'm basically a walking contradiction. And broccoli, probably one of the healthiest foods on the planet. Anyway, I'm going to eat this incredibly healthy cheat meal and then we'll talk about today's deadlift session. Okay, so today's deadlift session worked up to 275 kilos for a single, which is my current max. So I basically matched my current PB on the deadlift. So the last time I hit that was actually a day after the British Championships.
Here we are. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it,
So as you'll see there, it wasn't a pretty rep and I used straps, it was a little bit grindy. Obviously it was 24 hours after I competed, so I would have been very fatigued, but I've got a little bit of a tradition, if you've watched my videos for long enough you'll know this, where I like to go for a PB a day or a week after I've competed, and 9 times out of 10 I normally hit some sort of PB, and that's just because I'm in familiar surroundings, being in my gym, I've got my own timing, my music. I've talked about this loads of times. But what I'm basically going to do today is compare that lift with today's lift.
Wow, great PR!
So there's a lot of differences between the two lifts, just in variables around the lift, and it was actually 3 months pretty much to the day that I did that 275 kilos for the first time. But the main difference is obviously different bars for a start. So obviously I'm using the deadlift bar. Now some people would say that that works in my advantage because it's a deadlift bar, so it's more specialised towards deadlifts, but bearing in mind I've never actually used a deadlift bar. I've had basically 3 months, or not even that. I've only been training on the deadlift bar for a few weeks really, so I've had to get used to that pretty quick, and there's a lot of things to get used to with it. Obviously the whip on the bar, so it requires a lot more core strength I found, and actually getting used to ripping the bar off of the floor because it does throw you off quite a lot, but obviously it does, if you can master it, it puts you in a really good position with the deadlift bar. So those are the two differences with the bar itself. The other difference is the fact that I'm using straps in the first deadlift, and with this one I'm just using mixed grip. So I haven't used mixed grip again, for a very long time. Post competition is the only time I've done mixed grip in probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So I've been obviously having to train my grip as well. And that's just another factor that goes into a lift. Naturally, when you've had problems with your grip in the past, it's something that you're thinking about during a lift, and definitely during the second deadlift, so the one that I did today, I was thinking about my grip beforehand. I was thinking, make sure I'm gripping it tight, make sure I don't let go. And when you're thinking about these things, it's just more things to worry about the lift, and that's obviously going to be a disadvantage as well. So as mentioned as well, another difference is the fact that I was peaked in the first time I did it as well. So although I had competed the day before, I was still in a peaked mode, like my CNS was ready to be lifting heavy weights. At the moment I'm in a very fatigued state in the beginning of a peak going towards a lift. So sometimes that means that actually these lifts around this time are actually a bit slower, just because of the accumulated fatigue, and it's after a deload that you're actually lifting better. So that's obviously another variable and something that was different to the first time I deadlifted 275. So I think the last difference, and it's not so much a variable, it's just an observation, is the speed. I definitely feel that the speed on the second rep, the one that I did today, was quicker than the first time I did it, and that as well is actually with a bit of a misgroove. If you actually watch it back, I definitely misgroove the bar a little bit, as in I think it comes forward a little bit and a little bit either to my left or right, which does throw me off, and I definitely noticed it while I was doing it, but I still managed to lock out the weight. But I still think it moved quicker than the first time I deadlifted 275. So just from a confidence point of view more than anything, it's really good to know that I've still got speed on that, which means I've still got room for more weight to go on the bar, and this is during the peak as well. So genuinely after a peak I feel I'm going to be fresh and ready to hit something quite big, but obviously it's not going to be 300 or it's not going to be a triple bodyweight deadlift, but it's definitely going to be a PB. So today's actually Thursday and my deadlift sessions are normally on Friday, but because I'm quite busy the next few days I actually brought it forward a little bit. So I was a little bit fatigued still from the deadlifts that I did on Tuesday. So really overall I'm very, very happy with the deadlift today. In an ideal world, you know, it would be moving quick and give me with the confidence to know that I'm going to get a massive PB, but there is still that little bit of doubt, just with the fatigue. I honestly don't know how much more I've got in the tank. I like to think I've probably got 280 to 285, but I honestly don't know. But to be honest with you, without sort of blowing my own trumpet, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made, seeing as the fact I'm training on a different bar. I've only had really 3 months to train for this deadlift. Outside factors just to do with work and not really having as much time to really dedicate to the gym, but you know, that's life. Things like this happen anyway and you just have to go with it. So all of that considered, I'm really happy with the progress that I've made.
That's incredible! Wow! Double technique!
Today's just a little bit of a rehab really, and catching up with a little bit of stuff that I've missed. So just doing a bit of bench, getting to try out my vice grip T for the first time as well. So just doing 3 sets of 10 on flat bench, then a little bit of incline. So the first time I've actually ever hit 100 kilo on incline as well, so it's a nice little random PB for you as well. Yeah, just going to do a little bit of hamstring work as well, because I just feel like I've kind of neglected them leading into like the heavy stuff, so just going to do a little bit of isolation work on them as well.
Putting straps on for?
Yeah, I know. My grip is terrible, you know this. But I'll tell you what isn't bad for grip, this t-shirt, which you can get
where do I get one from?
if you go to www.vicegrip.co.uk. I haven't got a discount code, but you can go over there and get one.
But I don't want to pay 100%.
Well, you
welcome to Swole City.
It's on there.
Flexing out.
Flex City, boys.
Flex City.
That's perfect for then you just going,
Wow! Double biceps! Six, 7, 8. Come on, big boy. 5 more. That's genuinely like most impressive thing I've seen you do.
So I cut short the session today. It was only a little rehab session anyway, so it's not like massively important. Just I was feeling very lethargic. I think like just got low iron or something like that. I'm not really sure. Coming in with the cure. Perfect. So much better. So yeah, that's the end of the week, end of the training week. Obviously absolutely buzzing with getting the 275, matching the PB. So I also found out it's technically a overall PB if you want to talk about like Wilks and go by Wilks score, because I'm actually 102 kilos I found out today, which is obviously 3 kilos less than when I actually competed, so that's another little comparison as well. So happy with that. No idea what I'm going to be doing next week, but I'm imagining it will be over 275. So yeah, looking forward to that. Getting into more recovery. I'll see you in the next video.
That's about 10 plates!
How many plates?
I'll do it through by warming up with 16.